about 6 foot forward. They alternate the introductions here. Also starting number 52, Andy Bernard. 6'6", up front. There's Skip Latrude. Up front for the Trojans, number 43. Adam Thorson, the other guy in the middle. Goes about 6'6", big guy. Had a nice game yesterday. Wigman will start at center for the Trojans, just a sophomore, 6'4". At a guard will be number 4, Chris Drinkall. The other guard spot will be number 13, Nate Thompson. The other starter in the backcourt will be number 11, Neil Anderson. And for the Trojans, Andy Ross. So it's Chris Drinkall, Neil Anderson, Jeff O'Donnell, Andy Bernard, and Adam Thorson, the starting 5 for the Rushford-Peterson Trojans. Starting for the Ortonville Trojans will be Nate Thompson, Jordan Botker, Ross Wigman, Skip Letrude, and Andy Ross. The starting 5 for the Ortonville Trojans. Trojans are coached by Kyle Kirkby, assisted by Tim Geese and Dave Dillon. The Rushford-Peterson Trojans are coached by Tom Vicks and assisted by Terry Pezzel. Now let's listen to the Ortonville Band as they perform our national anthem. Sure we got the Ortonville Band in there today. They've done a great job during this tournament, to say the least. So we're about ready to go. Rushford-Peterson comes out to their starting 5. They'll go from left to right in front of us. Trojans will come out. Number 42, Jeff O'Donnell. You'll hear his name a lot today. Had a great game yesterday against Southwest Christian. He'll jump center against Ross Wigman, the 6'4" sophomore for the Trojans. And we're about ready to get this third place game underway from the Sports Pavilion. And the Ortonville Trojan fans are giving them a standing ovation here. Oh, great to see this stuff, I tell you. And the tip is controlled by the Trojans of Rushford-Peterson. Lob underneath, it goes out of bounds. It will be Ortonville basketball. Anderson tried to lob it inside there to number 52, Andy Bernard, or excuse me, number 54, Adam Thorson. Trojans with it now, Jordy Botker with it. Gets in the front court to Nate Thompson. Thompson tried to get it underneath. Wigman has it baseline, back out to Thompson. Nate on the right side, gets it inside now to Skip Letrude. Skip gets it back out now to Andy Ross, over to Nate Thompson. Nate guarded by Drinkall. Now with it is Botker. He looks inside, gets it to Wigman. Wigman has the ball stripped up from him and into the hands of number 42, Jeff O'Donnell. Gives it off to Anderson. He's got it now, swings it over to Drinkall. They go down low to Andy Bernard, and he travels. Turnover will give it back to the Trojans. Just underway, first quarter, no score. From the Sports Pavilion at the University of Minnesota. Andy Ross, full court pressure put on by the Rushford-Peterson Trojans. Andy gets it now to Botker. Wigman with it now, and he'll give it off to Andy Ross, and we'll get going here with the offense. Botker left side. Down low to Letrude. Nothing there. Good defense. Swings it over to Wigman. Baseline jumper. Rolls around no good. Rebound comes down to Bernard. He gives it off to Neil Anderson, who brings it up for Rushford-Peterson. Drinkall over on the left side. Andy Ross guarding him. They go down low now to O'Donnell. He drives, no good. And he tried to save it, but it goes off the behind the bank board. It'll go out of bounds, and it will be Ortonville basketball. So the Trojans will get it back. Andy Ross now in the backcourt. Gets it up to Nate Thompson. Thompson swings it over to Botker. Jordan drives to the hoop. Puts up a one-handed shot, no good. Rebound comes down into the hands of Adam Thorson. Anderson brings it up to Drinkoff. Underneath, all alone, there's O'Donnell. He lays it up and in. First 2 points of the game for Rushford-Peterson. They lead it 2-zip. Botker now to Andy Ross. Back to Jordan Botker. He trips, and they're going to have a tie-up. And I think it'll be Ortonville basketball. It will be. Josh Rasmussen comes into the game now for Rushford-Peterson for substitution. Rasmussen, 6'1" junior. Andy Ross gets now into Nate Thompson. Thompson in the corner to Wigman. Tried to bounce pass it inside, but now they scramble for it, and it comes into the hands of Anderson. And we're going to get our first foul. A reach in on Nate Thompson. That'll be his first. First team foul. Substitutions for the Trojans now. Dan Roush and Ryan Longhenry ready to check in, as is Mickey Rademacher. Thompson, Letrude, and Wigman will go out for the Trojans. 2-zip. Rushford-Peterson leads with 5:53 to play in the first quarter. Neil Anderson with it in the backcourt. He runs the offense for Rushford-Peterson. He gets it over left side to Drinkoff. Drinkoff looks inside, nothing. Now they reverse it. Anderson right side. Anderson guarded by Roush. Now drives, middle of the paint. Loses it into the hands of Andy Ross. Up court they go to Botker. Jordan drives, has it knocked out of his hands. We're going to get a foul on Drinkoff. That'll be his first. And the first team foul for Rushford-Peterson. So each team with one team foul. So Jordy Botker will go to the free throw line, and Jordan will shoot 2. Trojans looking for their first points here. And the free throw from Jordan is short. He'll get a second shot. So here comes the second shot from Jordan off the front end of the rim again, no good. Rebound to O'Donnell, and he gives it off to Anderson. And he'll walk it up, guarded by Dan Roush. Drinkoff over right side. Get it now to O'Donnell. O'Donnell drives. He's hammered on the way in by Mickey Rademacher. Mickey will pick up his first. And that'll be the second team foul for the Trojans. Anderson will inbound it. And Anderson now will get it into Drinkoff. Rasmussen over to Anderson. Get it into O'Donnell. Nearly a steal by Longhenry. Back to Anderson. He puts up the 3, and he nails it. Three-pointer for Neil Anderson makes it a 5-0 game. Now they get it down low to Longhenry. Longhenry is tied up, but we're going to get a foul, I think, on O'Donnell, number 42. And that'll be his first. Second team foul for Rushford-Peterson. Andy Ross will inbound it for the Trojans. He gets it into Botker. Jordan drives. Hammered again inside. They might get O'Donnell again. That'd be 2 quick ones on the big guy inside. And it is number 2 on Jeff O'Donnell. So checking in now is number 54, Adam Thorson. He returns to the game. And O'Donnell will go out with those 2 fouls. Longhenry with it over to Dan Roush. Into the corner, Andy Ross. Looking down low, nothing. Now they get it to Mickey Rademacher. Swings it over to Botker. He'll pull up for the 3. Jordan's shot no good. They battle inside, and Rasmussen pulls it down for Rushford-Peterson. Trojans can't buy a bucket right now, trailing 5-zip. Rasmussen pulls up. Shot no good, and it goes out of bounds. And it goes off of Rushford-Peterson, so the Trojans will get it. With it now, Andy Ross gets it back to Dan Roush. Mickey Rademacher. Now over to Botker. Jordan crosses the center line, gets it to Long Henry. Ryan nowhere to go, just double teamed right there in the corner. Good defense by the Rushford-Peterson. Now they do knock it away. Rasmussen has it. Knocked it out of Mickey Rademacher's hands. Anderson drives. Pulls up, gives it to Rasmussen. Over to Drinkall. Drinkall drives, dishes back to Rasmussen. He's open for the 3, and it's off the mark. They battle inside. We're going to get a foul. And I think it's going to be on Rushford-Peterson. It will be on Andy Bernard, his first. Quickly, that's 4 team fouls on Rushford-Peterson. We have 4:11 to play in the first quarter. Andy Ross, backcourt, now over to Jordan Botker. Over to Mickey Rademacher. Boy, they just put big prime pressure on, and Mickey throws it right in the hands of Anderson. Drinkall with it now, back to Anderson. He calls out the play. Anderson for 3, way short. And they try to save it. It'll go out of bounds. It'll be Ortonville basketball. Rasmussen tried to hit it off the leg of Andy Ross, but Andy jumped out of the way, and it goes out of bounds. And the Trojans will get it back, looking for a bucket. Trailing 5-zip with 3:40 to play first quarter. Dan Roush almost loses it. Well, they're just all over him. Now they get in the front court to Mickey Rademacher. Mickey tries a bounce pass. Now they still battle inside. Botker comes up with it. Tries to put up a shot, and he's fouled on the way. I think Jordan will get 2 shots. Check and see who the foul on here is. And it's going to be on Adam Thorson. That'll be his first. 15 fouls, so they called it apparently before Jordan put the shot up, so they'll inbound it here. Dan Roush with it. Dan will dribble back out top of the key. Anderson all over him. Now another job of reaching in and knocking the ball away and into the hands of Rushford-Peterson. Rasmussen travels with it. Yep, walked with it. He was going to the hoop, tried to dish it over to number 52, Andrew Bernard, but took some steps before then, so turnover will give it back to the Trojans of Ortonville. Matt Chambers checking in now for Rushford-Peterson. Now Pete Ross will check in. Pete will come in for Mickey Rademacher. Rasmussen will go out for Rushford-Peterson. It's Anderson, Chambers, Andy Bernard, Drinkall, and Thorson, the 5 out there for Rushford-Peterson. Botker, Roush, Long Henry, Pete Ross, and Andy Ross, the 5 out there. Botker has it, loses it out of his hands and into the hand, now out of bounds. I think it's going to be off Jordan, and it'll be Rushford-Peterson basketball. Now the Trojans just not getting anything going right now. Trailing 5-zip at the 3-minute mark of the first quarter. Drinkall with it now as the Trojans put on full court pressure, but he dribbles right between it. Driving to the hoop, number 54, and he's fouled. That's Adam Thorson. He gets the 2. And the foul on the way. Foul's going to be on Jordan Botker, his first. Now we're going to get a timeout for the Trojans. 2:50 to play. It's 7-0. Rushford-Peterson leading Ortonville. We'll be back in 30 seconds. And we're back with you here at the Sports Pavilion on the University of Minnesota campus. To the free throw line will go Adam Thorson, trying to complete the 3-point play. Foul is on Botker, his first. Nate Thompson's into the game now for Ortonville. So it's Andy Ross, Pete Ross, Nate Thompson, Jordan Botker, and Ryan Longhenry, the 5 out there for Ortonville. Thorson's shot is good. He completes it. And it makes it an 8-0 game. Gordon's got to try and get a shot here. Thompson with it. There's Long Henry. He drives, puts it up, off the mark. He gets his own rebound, puts it up and in, and the drought ends. Trojans get 2 from Long Henry. Cut the lead to 6 at 8-2. Full court pressure again put on by Ortonville. They do cross center line. Now with it is Chambers. Underneath it goes to Thorson. Shot blocked by Long Henry. Now they battle for it. Now we're going to get a kick. It's going to be Rushford-Peterson basketball. Good effort by Long Henry. He went high to block that one. Now Dan Roush will check in. And he's going to check in for Jordan Botker. Drinkall will inbound it right in front of the Trojan bench. Anderson has it now. Nate Thompson will be guarding him. That's a pretty good matchup. Both about 5'9". Anderson probably with more experience than Nate, but Nate very quick. Chambers over left side now. Gets it back to Anderson. They look inside, nothing. Chambers reverses it over to Drinkall. Drinkall back to Anderson. Thompson still on him. Drinkall, right side, looks inside, nothing. There's a steal. Nate Thompson with the steal. Nate will go in, lays it up, and in. Nice job by Nate Thompson. Read that one, made the steal. The lead is 4 at 8-4 for Rushford-Peterson. Now I think we're going to get a referee timeout here. Apparently the referee heard Tom Vicks, the coach from Rushford-Peterson, say timeout. So Rushford-Peterson will inbound it here and maintain possession. And inadvertent whistle by the referee. So Anderson walks it up now for Rushford-Peterson with 1:39 to play in the first quarter. Drinkall has it now for Rushford-Peterson. Gets it to Thorson. He slams her home with authority. That's 5 for Thorson. It's 10-4. Dan Ross into the game now for Ortonville. Thompson pulls up for the jump shot and doesn't get it to go. It's knocked around in the hands of Dan Ross. Dan tries to put a shot up, but he was fouled before then. And we'll check and see who the foul was on here. It will be on number 20. That is Matt Chambers, his first. And that's the 6th team foul for Rushford-Peterson. So next foul they commit, Ortonville will be in the 1-and-1. Try to get it in. Pete Ross has it. Pete's all alone. Gets it over to Thompson. This is for 3. Nate's got the shot. It's off the end of the rim. No good. They battle for it. Pete Ross has it. Gets it into brother Dan. Dan dishes it underneath, but we're going to get a traveling call. Down low. Well, unfortunately, that was a nice pass from Dan inside, but walked with it beforehand, so turnover gives it back to Rushford-Peterson. Chambers with it now. Gets it into the hands of Anderson. And Neil Anderson will walk it up for Rushford-Peterson. Drinkall left side. Dan Ross guarding him. Now they get it to Thorson. Swings it over to Anderson. There's Thorson all alone. Shot up and in. He's got 7. Having a big first quarter. The lead is back to 8. 12-4 Rushford-Peterson. Pete Ross in the corner. Now we're going to get a foul. I think Anderson's going to pick up, Chambers I think is going to pick up the foul. They're double teaming Pete over there, and Anderson got a little bit too aggressive. Chambers did. That'll be his 2nd foul. So Chambers and O'Donnell each with 2 fouls. Now into the game is Justin Carrier. Justin Carrier checks in now for Rushford-Peterson. So does Skip Lettrud, and Skip will come in for Long Henry. So Pete Ross will go to the free throw line. He'll shoot the 1-and-1. 31 seconds to play in the first quarter. Rushford-Peterson leads at 12-4. Pete has hit some big free throws in this state tournament. And just like that, I jinx him. He misses it. Anderson with it now for Rushford-Peterson. He'll bring it up. He'll cross the center line. Thompson will meet him right there. Drinkall left side. Listens for Coach Vicks. They're going to play for one shot here. Anderson has it now with 13 seconds, 12, 11. And now they'll go. Anderson right side. Gets it down low. Layup up and in, no good, but there's Thorson. He can't get it to go. Hits it again, but I think we're going to get a foul on the way up. Foul is going to be on Dan Roush. His first and just the fourth team foul for the Trojans of Ortonville. To the free throw line will go number 54, Adam Thorson. He's got 7 first quarter points. And he will shoot 2. First free throw is good. 13-4 our score with 3.1 seconds to play. Second shot is also good. Pete Ross to Dan Roush. Dan loses it, and time runs out. 1 quarter of play in the books. Our score is Rushford-Peterson 14, Ortonville 4. Back with you in 1 minute. And back with you here at the Sports Pavilion. The second quarter underway. Trojans are down by 10, 14-4. We got some substitutions we'll get to you here in just a second. There's a steal by Andy Ross. Andy drives, lays it up, and gets it to go. And we're going to get a foul. I think it might be on Nate Thompson, an offensive foul. I think the basket will count, and then they'll call the foul on Nate Thompson. So Andy Ross gets in the scoring column. Nate picks up his second foul, 5th team foul. Trojans will put the full court pressure on here. Anderson with it now, he'll bring it up. Again, Nate Thompson with the assignment of guarding Anderson. Just into the game, number 22, Andrew Hungerholt. They go down low now to Thorson, turnaround jumper, no good. There's Anderson, he puts the shot up, no good, and I think Andy Ross is going to pick up the foul. And it is Andy Ross, his first. 6-team foul. So the next Trojan foul will put Rushford-Peterson in the bonus. Neil Anderson will go to the free throw line. He had a 3-pointer. He's got 3 points on the morning. His first free throw is good. Makes our score 15-6 in favor of Rushford-Peterson. Second shot is off, no good. They battle for it. Wigman runs it down in the corner. He'll get it over now to Andy Ross, who will bring it up for Ortonville. Thompson with it. They go down low to Lettrud. Skip, turnaround shot. Can't get it to go. Thorson comes down with it. Number 54. Now Anderson bringing it up for Rushford-Peterson. Drinkall over on the left side. Andy Ross guarding him. There's Hungerholt with it. Now they get it back to Anderson. Anderson over to Carrier. Carrier looks inside, nothing. Now swings it over to Hungerholt. Ball tipped around, back into the hands of Hungerholt. He gets it back to Anderson, swings it over to Drinkall. He's open for the 3. It's in and out. They battle inside. Interested to see what they're going to call here. And it's going to be on Rushford-Peterson. Hungerholt's going to pick up the foul. That'll be his first. And we'll go to the other end and shoot free throws. Bonus time, 1-on-1 for Ortonville. Andy Ross will go to the free throw line. It's a 9-point lead for Rushford-Peterson. 9 points for Adam Thorson, leading the way for Rushford-Peterson. Long Henry, Andy Ross, and Nate Thompson, each with 2 for Ortonville. First free throw from Andy Ross is good. Substitution, number 14, Josh Rasmussen, is back in for Carrier. Andy's second shot coming up. And he hits that one. So it's a 7-point lead for Rushford-Peterson, 15-8. Zanderson brings it up for Rushford-Peterson. We'll set the offense here now for the Trojans of Rushford-Peterson. Thorson with it now, swings it to Rasmussen over to Drinkall. Drinkall looks to drive. Nothing there, back out to Rasmussen. They swing it over to Anderson. Boy, he pulls up into the free throw line, dishes it back to Rasmussen. He puts the shot up, no good. They battle for it. Drinkall comes down with it. Now Jordan Botker's going to pick up a foul. That'll be his second. And that will put Rushford-Peterson into the bonus. That's the 7th-team foul for the Trojans. Checking into the game now is number 52, Andy Bernard. So it's Anderson, Drinkall, Rasmussen, Thorson, and Bernard, the 5 out there for Rushford-Peterson. For Ortonville, Nate Thompson, Andy Ross, Skip Lettrud, Ross Wigman, and Pete Ross, the 5 out there now for Ortonville. To the free throw line is Drinkall. First free throw, no good. Rebound, Lettrud. Skip going to bring it up. Now gives it off to Andy Ross. Now Andy will set it up. Thompson left side. Swings it over to Lettrud. Skip looks to drive. Pulls up for the shot, but they're going to call him for a walk. As he bounced off Thorson. Stutter stepped, and that's a travel. It's a good call. So turnover gives it back to Rushford-Peterson. 15-8 our score. 6:02 to play, second quarter. Rushford-Peterson with the 7-point lead. It's Neil Anderson swinging over on the right side now to Rasmussen. Rasmussen gets it over to number 52 O'Donnell, or excuse me, Bernard. Bernard has it. He drives the paint, lays it up, no good. Going to get a foul on the way. I think Wigman's going to pick up the foul on this one. And he does. And for Ross, that's his first foul. And that will put number 52, Andy Bernard, to the free throw line. No points on the afternoon for Bernard. Left-handed shooter. His first free throw attempt is no good. At the back end of the rim, second shot coming up. And the shot is short. Goes out of bounds. And it'll be Ortonville basketball. So they went off Thorson. Full court pressure being set up here by Rushford-Peterson. Thompson gets it into Wigman. Gives it back to Nate Thompson. Anderson guarding him. Nate just about slips. Nate swings it over to Andy Ross. Now Andy will cross the timeline. Nice job by Andy Ross. Skip Lettrud with it. Nice little turnaround shot. Lays it up and in. Nice move by Skip Lettrud. And it makes it a 5-point lead now for Rushford-Peterson. Trojans chipping away, trailing 15-10. Anderson over to Drinkall. Bernard with it now. Gives it off to Rasmussen, over to Anderson, left side. Thorson goes down low. There's a layup try by Bernard. It goes out of bounds off of Wigman. It'll stay Rushford-Peterson basketball. Boy, Bernard had a great opportunity for a shot here. Nice pass inside, but couldn't get it to go. Anderson will inbound it here for Rushford-Peterson. 5:03 to play. Anderson gets it into Thorson. Shot up and in. Boy, he's had a big day. That's 11 for Thorson. He's leading both teams in the scoring column. Andy Ross swings it over to Nate Thompson. Thompson crosses the center line, gets it over to Pete Ross. Pete looks to drive, nothing there. Double team, now gets it to Thompson. Nate puts up the shot, it's blocked. It goes out of bounds off of Rushford-Peterson. Will still Ortonville basketball. Andy Ross will inbound it for Ortonville. Long Henry in now as Ross Wigman goes out. Get it into Thompson. Thompson looks inside, nothing there. Andy Ross with it now. Andy looks to drive down near the baseline, back out to Pete Ross. Pete drives, tries to put it up. He's hammered on the way in. We'll get a foul called. See if they get it on here. I think it's going to be on Bernard, 52, if I'm not mistaken. The referee's even unsure here. And that's who it'll be on, number 52, Andy Bernard. That'll be his second foul. So Chambers, O'Donnell, and Bernard all with 2 fouls for Rushford-Peterson here in the first half. Andrew Hungerholt ready to check in here for Rushford-Peterson. To the free throw line is Pete Ross. He'll shoot 2. First free throw bounces around and in. First points of the day for Pete Ross. Second shot for Pete coming up. 17-11. Rushford-Peterson with the lead. 4:23 to play, second quarter. Pete hits them both. And it's a 5-point lead for Rushford-Peterson. Anderson bringing it up for the Trojans. And now Drinkall hands it back off to Anderson. Drinkall drives baseline, nothing there. Gets it into Thorson. Bank shot up and in. It's 13 now for Thorson. Andy Ross with it now. He's guarded there by Rasmussen. Pete Ross with it. Pete drives. Pulls up in the paint, puts up the shot, no good. Rebound comes down to Long Henry. Boy, he's forcing himself to get that one. Andy Ross, long shot off front of the rim, no good. They battle inside with it. Coming up is Anderson, and actually Hungerholt comes up with it. Back to Anderson. Now Anderson will bring it back. They go down low to Hungerholt. Double team there. Now they're going to get Skip Letchard for a foul. Skip reached in on that one. His first. Mickey Rademacher ready to check in here for the Trojans. And to the free throw line goes number 22, Andrew Hungerholt. Into the game now is Mickey Rademacher. Skip Letchard will come out. So Hungerholt to the free throw line. Next foul committed for each team will put them in the double bonus, which will mean 2 shots no matter what. Hungerholt gets the first free throw, his first points here this morning. And it's a 20-12 lead. Second shot also goes in. Well, the lead is 9 now for Rushford-Peterson as Andy Ross brings it up for Ortonville. Andy gets it to brother Pete, right side. Pete looking off a screen of Rademacher. Now gets it back to Mickey. Mickey gets it back to Pete. Nate Thompson setting the screen. Pete nowhere to really go. Gets it to Mickey Rademacher. Mickey gives it back to Thompson. Back out on top to Andy Ross. Andy drives in the paint, puts up the running shot, gets it to go. Andy with 6 points here in the quarter. The lead is 7 for Rushford-Peterson. Trojans just kind of hang around and hang around. Anderson now gets it to Drinkall, right side. Andy Ross all over him, has it tipped out of there. Out of bounds. Good defense by Andy Ross. Those quick hands. So Drinkall will inbound it. Gets it into Anderson. And Anderson will set things up here for Rushford-Peterson. Hungerholt with it. Looked at a shot, passed it up. Swings it over now to Rasmussen. Rasmussen inside Thorson. Turnaround shot in and out. No good. With the rebound, Drinkall, but we're going to get a foul. I think we're going to get an offensive foul on Drinkall. And that'll be his second foul. So we'll go the other way and shoot two. I think Pete Ross will be at the free throw line for Ortonville. Pete with that big game yesterday off the bench. Pete ended up with 16 points in the game yesterday. And he'll shoot two. Free throw from Pete is good. That's three in the afternoon for Pete. Botker into the game, as is Dan Ross. And Nate Thompson and Andy Ross will go out for the Trojans. Second shot for Pete. It bounces around and in. Pete 4-4 from the free throw line. 5-point lead again. Trojans just kind of hang around, chip away. Here's Anderson walking up, setting up the play by tugging at his shirt. Rasmussen back to Anderson. Carrier into the game now, top of the key. Right side, Rasmussen looks to drive. Passes it over to Hungerholt. Hungerholt looked down low, nothing there, back to Anderson. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Trojans trail 21-16. Pass back out now to Carrier. Carrier over now to Anderson. Dan Ross guarding him. Swing it back over to Rasmussen. Inside they go in the paint to Thorson. Puts up the shot, banks it home. Oh, is he having a game? The lead is back to 7 for Rushford-Peterson. Pete Ross has it now for Ortonville. Now Pete drives, and the land of the Giants has it stripped. They're going to get a foul. I think Hungerholt will pick that one up, and if so, that'll be his second foul. The Trojans are doing a good job of penetrating here this morning and drawing some fouls. And it will be on Hungerholt. That'll be his second. And Pete will go right back to the free throw line. He's got 4 points on the morning. Pete's free throw attempt is good. Boy, he's just got a real nice stroke at the free throw line. It'll be fun watching him the next 2 years. Second shot for Pete is also good. 6 points off the bench for Pete Ross, and it's back to a 5-point lead, 23-18. Rushford-Peterson leads it with 1:26 to play in the first half. Anderson swings it now to Thorson. Thorson dribbling around now, top of the key. Long Henry over him. Anderson down the left corner, back out Rasmussen, top of the key. It's Hungerholt. Hungerholt swings it back over to the left side to Anderson. Now back to Hungerholt, back to Anderson as they play catch. 1 minute to play in the first half. Now Rasmussen has it. Back over to Carrier. Anderson, jumper, good. Neil Anderson has 6 points. Long Henry the other way, can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound, puts it up and in. That's 4 for Ryan Long Henry. 25-20. Anderson with it now. And he'll set it up. 32 seconds to play in the first half. There's Rasmussen. Thorson. Now we're going to get a foul down low. I believe that's going to be on Dan Ross. And Noah Zeringer and John Thomas ready to check in. 2 seniors for Ortonville. Dan Ross picks up his first foul. To the free throw line, shooting 2 is Anderson. Anderson has 6 points already today. First free throw is good. Now John Thomas and Noah Zeringer check in. Nicky Rademacher and Pete Ross will check out for Ortonville. 26-20 to score. Rushford-Peterson leads it by 6. Second free throw is also good. And I think the Trojans will try for one shot here. 27-20 the score. Dan Ross guarded by Rasmussen. Dan looks to drive, dishes it inside, Zaringer with it. No, will pull up for the jump shot, just off the bench, doesn't get it to go. Anderson has it, 7 seconds. Running the court, there's Carrier, lays it up, no good. They battle, into the hands of John Thomas. Thomas to Dan Ross, and won't get the shot off. We're at halftime. Our score is the Rushford-Peterson Trojans, 27. Our Ortonville Trojans, 20. 7-point lead for Rushford-Peterson. Let's take a 2-minute break, and then we'll be back with more state tournament basketball action here on KDIO. Starting out the second half, number 14, John Rasmussen. Number 10, Neil Anderson. 42 back into the game is Jeff O'Donnell. Andy Bernard, 52, or excuse me, number 4, Chris Drinkall, and number 54, Adam Thorson. The starting 5 are out there for the Trojans. Botker with it now for Ortonville, over to Nate Thompson. Tried to get it back to Botker, stolen by Rasmussen. Anderson gets it down to Thorson. Thompson steals it away. Now we're going to get a foul on Nate Thompson, and that's going to be his third. So it's Andy Ross, Nate Thompson, Jordan Botker, Skip Lettrude, and Ross Wigman, the 5 out there for Ortonville. So Rushford-Peterson will inbound it, just underway third quarter. It's 27-20, Rushford-Peterson leading the Trojans of Ortonville. Anderson gets it into Drinkall. Drinkall goes to O'Donnell. Turnaround shot for O'Donnell, no good. Rebound, Andy Ross. Andy pushing it up court. Botker with it, left side. Botker goes low to Skip Lettrude. Skip puts up the shot and in. Skip Lettrude. Trojans trailing by 5, 27-22. Rasmussen has it. Swings it over to Anderson. Anderson, Drinkall, top of the key, back to Anderson. They play catch. Now he's going to position everybody and set something up. Drinkall on the right side, they get it to O'Donnell. They go down low to Thorson. He's had the hot hand. Turnaround shot is in. Thorson picking right up where he left off in that first half. Thompson with it now for Ortonville. Back over to Andy Ross. Back to Nate, to Botker. Jordan pulls up for the jump shot. Bounces around, no good. O'Donnell pulls down the rebound for Rushford-Peterson. 6:43 to play, third quarter. Ortonville trails by 7. Thorson with it now, over to Drinkall, left side Anderson. Anderson looks inside, now back out on top Rasmussen. They swing it over right side, Drinkall. Down low they go, O'Donnell. Double team there by Lettrude and Wigman, nearly stolen. Now we're going to get a kick, and it'll stay Rushford-Peterson basketball. Good weak side help there from the Trojans down low, double teaming O'Donnell. He didn't have nothing to do with that basketball, so we got it back out. Good defense by Ortonville. Now they go to O'Donnell. Wigman guarding him. O'Donnell puts up the shot, but he travels. Turnover gives it back to the Trojans. Nate gets it into Botker. Back to Nate Thompson. Nate gets it over to Andy Ross. Now back to Nate, who crosses the center line. Nate gets it to Botker. Botker to Wigman. Ross drives, banks it up, and in. Nice play by the sophomore Wigman. And hard to believe that's his first 2 points of the morning still. 29-24, 5-point lead for Rushford-Peterson. There's a steal. Botker with it. Drives, lays it up, gets it to go. Jordy Botker. His first 2. Now the Trojans have cut the lead to 3. Pressure put on by the Trojans, full court. Oh, they had O'Donnell all alone. Pass it up, Anderson for 3, and he hits it. Big shot for Neil Anderson, 3-pointer. Lead is back up to 6, 32-26. Andy Ross for the Trojans. Andy gets it now to Wigman. Wigman, guarded by O'Donnell. Wigman gets it inside. Now we're going to get a travel call on Wigman. So it'll be Rushford-Peterson basketball. Trojans are going to pick him up three-quarter court. Thompson will be on Anderson. Anderson swings it over to Drinkall. He drives, dishes it to Thorson. We're going to get a foul. I think it's going to be on Lettrud. And if so, that'll be Skip's second. And it is. Skip picks up his second foul. And to the free throw line will go Adam Thorson. He's got 17 points here already this morning. He'll shoot 2. Free throw's good. Into the game now, Ryan Longhenry and Pete Ross. Skip Lettrud and Ross Wigman go out. And second shot for Thorson coming up. And he hits that one. And the lead is back up to 8 points now, 34-26. Rushford-Peterson leading by 8. We had 4:56 to play. Andy Ross with it for Ortonville. Over to Nate Thompson. Nate swings it over to Jordan Botker. Jordan drives in the paint, loses it to O'Donnell. O'Donnell up to Anderson. Anderson's going to slow it down right now. Now he'll dish it over to Rasmussen. Looked at a 3, passed it up, but Drinkall will take it. And it's off the rim, no good. O'Donnell coming down with it. Now we're going to get a foul on Rushford-Peterson. And it's going to be on O'Donnell, and that'll be his third foul. Now Rushford-Peterson will put on full court pressure. Thompson will inbound it for Ortonville to Andy Ross. Back to Nate. Nate hustles it up court. Gets it now to Botker. Botker to Longhenry. Nice pass to Pete Ross. Puts it up and in. But they're going to get a charge on Ryan Longhenry. That might have been one of those good no calls, but they call a charge on Longhenry, and that'll be his first foul. So don't count the basket, and the charge on Longhenry. Now Anderson with it, pushing it up court. Thorson, nice pass to O'Donnell, up and in. Good job of running the court by Rushford-Peterson. O'Donnell has 4 points, and it's a 10-point lead, 36-26. Jordan Botker with it now for Ortonville. Drinkall on him. And Jordy loses it. Now I think we're going to get a foul on Andy Ross. Got a little sloppy play there. Andy picks up his second foul. And that will be the 4th team foul now for the Trojans. And we got a timeout. Let's take this break. And let's take it for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. We'll be right back. And we're back with you here at the Sports Pavilion. 4:01 to play in the third quarter. It's Rushford-Peterson 36, Ortonville 26. Drinkall has it now for Rushford-Peterson, guarded by Andy Ross. He brings it up. He'll hand it off now to Anderson. Anderson, guarded by Andy Ross. Drinkall now, they switch. Andy gets back on Drinkall. Anderson guarded by Thompson. They lob it in now to Thorson. Back to Anderson. He'll pull up for the three-pointer. Short. Drinkall runs it down right side. Dishes it to Thorson. Loses it out of bounds. So we're going to get a foul inside. I think it's going to be on Jordan Botker. And that'll be the third on Jordan. And Adam Thorson will go to the free throw line. He's got 19 points here now in the afternoon. Chance to increase that 10-point lead for Rushford-Peterson. Thorson's free throw is off the front end of the rim, no good. Second shot will be coming up. 36-26, 3:37 to play, third quarter. Free throw is good. He's got 20. And it's an 11-point lead, 37-26. Botker with it for Ortonville. Jordan. Now looks to drive to the hoop. Drive, shot blocked. Oh, they're going to get a foul on Thorson. Or excuse me, yeah, Thorson. That'll be his second. Adam Thorson. Thought he had a clean block, but the referee didn't think so. And Jordan will go to the free throw line. He'll shoot 2. Andy Bernard ready to check in here for Rushford-Peterson. Jordan, first free throw, is off the front of the rim, no good. Now Bernard will come in and Thorson will come out, and he'll get a nice hand from the Rushford-Peterson fans. He's got himself quite a day with 20 points. Botker now with his second shot. And that one goes in and out, and O'Donnell pulls down the rebound. Jordan just not being able to buy one here today. Anderson bringing it up now for Rushford-Peterson. Rasmussen over on the left side now. Dribbles, gets it to O'Donnell. O'Donnell going to get a foul on the court there. Push, I think, along Henry. Oh, maybe Andy Ross, too. Yeah, it's going to be on Ryan Longhenry. That'll be his second. 16 foul for Ortonville, so the next Ortonville foul will put Rushford-Peterson in the bonus. Dan Roush into the game now, and Jordan Botker goes out for Ortonville. Drinkall with it. Swings it down low. Anderson pulls up for the jumper. Off the mark, no good. Andy Ross runs it down. Now loses it, but gets it back and into the hands of brother Pete. Pete brings it up, swings it over to Andy. Andy Ross drives. Andy pulls up for this bank shot, and he gets it. Nice job for Andy Ross. And it's a 9-point lead, 37-26 for Rushford-Peterson. Hopefully they come back with 2:42 to play. Rasmussen tried to get it down low. Longhenry has it. Now we're going to get a foul. I think it's going to be on Rasmussen. And it is. Rasmussen picks up his first foul. 4th team foul. Check that 3rd team foul for Rushford-Peterson. Andy Ross now to Nate Thompson. Nate will bring it up for Ortonville. Pete with it now for Ortonville. Pete Ross. Pete looking to drive. Bernard on him. Now he swings it over to Thompson. They go down low to Longhenry. Longhenry tried to get it back out. Stolen from Rasmussen. Over to Anderson. Back to Rasmussen. Drives. Puts it up. No good. Knocked around into the hands of Anderson. Now it's stolen by Dan Roush. He tries to save it, but he doesn't. He steps on the out-of-bounds line, and it'll be Rushford-Peterson basketball. Matt Chambers checking in now for Rushford-Peterson. We won't get the luxury here today of the television timeout, so play just continues here today. Dan Ross coming in for Andy now. So Dan Ross, Nate Thompson, Dan Roush, Pete Ross, and Ryan Longhenry, the 5 out there. O'Donnell's turnaround shot, no good. Board comes down to Pete Ross. Oh, he does a nice job. Pete, guarded by Bernard, swings it over to Nate Thompson. Nate goes low to Pete. Pete Ross. Now looking inside, nothing there. Now does get it to Longhenry inside. Now we're going to get a foul. Foul is going to be on number 20, Matt Chambers, his 3rd foul. That's the 4th team foul now for Rushford-Peterson. Dan Ross will inbound it, gets it to Longhenry. He looks to drive, and they're going to call a charge. Well, that was a good acting job by O'Donnell, because if Longhenry really would have barreled him over, he would have went tumbling. And Longhenry picks up the foul, and that'll be his 3rd. Skip Letchard ready to check in now for Ortonville. And he'll come in for Ryan Longhenry. Jordan Botker will check in now for Ortonville as well. And he's going to come in for Nate Thompson. Dan Ross, Dan Roush, Jordan Botker, Skip Letchard, and Pete Ross, the 5 out there now for Ortonville. 1:38 to play, 3rd quarter. Neil Anderson with it across the center line, guarded by Dan Roush. Drinkall gives it back to Anderson. Drinkall with it. Now gets it over to Chambers. Swing it around, Drinkall right side. Ball knocked out of his hands. Dan Ross all over him. They go down low. Now we're going to get a foul on Skip Lettrud. Push from the back, and for Skip, that'll be his third. And it's bonus time now for Rushford-Peterson. This will be a one-on-one to the free throw line. Number 42, Jeff O'Donnell. He's got 4 points on the day, but he spent most of that first half sitting on the bench because he was in early foul trouble for Rushford-Peterson. Well, the first free throw attempt from O'Donnell coming up, and he hits it. 38-28, 10-point lead for Rushford-Peterson. Into the game is Thorson. He comes in for Bernard. Second shot for O'Donnell is good. He's got 6 now on the afternoon. And it's a 11-point lead, 39-28. Now we're going to get a foul on Chambers, and that'll be his 4th. So Rasmussen will quickly check in here for Rushford-Peterson. So Rasmussen in now. It's Drinkall, Rasmussen, Anderson, O'Donnell, and Thorson, the 5 out there for Rushford-Peterson. Ball knocked out of bounds, still be an Ortonville basketball. Dan Roush inbounding it for Ortonville. Minute 13 to play here in the third quarter. It's 39-28. Rushford-Peterson with the lead. Lettrud has it, man knocked around, but Dan Ross picks it up for Ortonville. Swings it over now to Pete Ross. Pete drives. Dishes it off to brother Dan. Dan back to Pete. Pete takes an extra step, travels with it. Turnover will give it back to Rushford-Peterson. Drinkall will inbound it. Anderson, now we're going to get Dan Roush with a foul. Dan trying to go for the steal. And we'll go back, shoot some free throws. That's pretty much the way it's going to be the rest of the way here with a minute 1 in the third quarter. So Anderson will go to the free throw line. He's got 11 points here this afternoon. Free throw is good. Second shot for Anderson coming up. And he hits them both. He's got 13. Botker now in the backcourt for Ortonville. Pushes it up court. Drinkall guarding him. Jordan now looks to drive. Puts up a nice running shot, banks it in. That's 4 for Jody Botker. It's an 11-point lead, 41-30. Now Anderson with it. 41 seconds to play third quarter. Now they call a little bump on Dan Roush, and that'll be his 3rd foul. The coaching staff not too happy with that call. Well, we're back with you here, the final quarter of basketball for Ortonville Trojans this year. And the Trojan fans are up giving them a nice ovation. Nate Thompson, Andy Ross, Ryan Longhenry, Ross Wigman, Jordan Botker, the 5 out there, Neil Anderson, Chris Drinkall, O'Donnell, Thorson, and Rasmussen, the 5 out there for. Now there's a steal. Oh, they battle now. They let that go. Oh, man. Drinkall with it now left side. Back out on top, Anderson. Back to Drinkall. Down low to Rasmussen. Now back to Rasmussen. Looking inside. Does get it into O'Donnell. He puts up the shot and he gets it. Lead back to 12 for Rushford-Peterson. Andy Ross back the other way. Rasmussen cuts him off near baseline. Comes back out. Thompson. Now Botker top of the key. Left side, Longhenry. Longhenry drives, dishes it inside to Wigman. Ross, turnaround jump shot, gets it. It's 4 for Ross Wigman. Back to a 10-point lead for Rushford-Peterson. Rasmussen cross-courts it over to O'Donnell. Back to Anderson. Anderson puts up the shot. Short. Long Henry comes down with it for the Trojans. Botker with it. Back the other way we go. Wigman. Ross drives. Loses it. Out of bounds, but it goes off Rushford-Peterson. Will stay Ortonville basketball. 6:47 to play in the game. Trojans trail by 10. Andy Ross will inbound it. He gets it into Long Henry to Nate Thompson. Back to Randy Ross. He puts up the 3. Off the mark. O'Donnell with it. He gives it off to Neil Anderson. Up court to Drinkall. Chris Drinkall. Hands it off to Rasmussen. He drives in the paint. Slashes. Puts up the shot. And he can't get it to go. Missed everything. Gets his own board. Puts it back up. But they're going to call double dribble on Rasmussen, so the Trojans will get it back. Well, nice move by Rasmussen. Just didn't get the shot up. Then double dribbled with it, so the Trojans have it. Botker will bring it up for the Trojans. And Rasmussen's guarding him near the top of the key. Right side now, Nate Thompson. They go low, knocked out of bounds by O'Donnell. He saves it right into the hands of Wigman. Wigman drives, nice dish to Ross. Andy puts it up and in. Nice play by Ross Wigman. That's 10 now for Andy Ross, and the lead is cut down to 8 points. 44, near steal by the Trojans. Rasmussen with it, back to Anderson. Up court he goes to Drinkall. Give and go, Anderson, O'Donnell. Shot blocked. Botker comes away with it, but Drinkall is able to run it down. And he'll get it over to Anderson. They look down low, all alone as Thorson puts it up and in. Oh, the Trojans nearly had a steal there. Boy, would that have changed it around. 10-point lead again for Rushford-Peterson. Andy Ross with it now for Ortonville. Right side. Looks down low. There's a steal by O'Donnell. O'Donnell just a little bit stronger than Wigman. And he was able to get the steal. Rasmussen right side. Now they get it to Thorson up near the free throw line. Thorson guarded by Long Henry, takes the dribble, hands it off to Drinkall. He drives in the paint, loses it, but O'Donnell picks it up, puts it up left-handed, no good. Long Henry has it, gets it down to Andy Ross. Andy tried to get a timeout, but he didn't get it. And they're going to call the turnover. It'll be Rushford-Peterson basketball. Pete Ross, Skip Luttrell, Dan Roush all into the game for Ortonville. Thompson, Wigman, and Botker go out. Dan Ross also checks in now, and Andy Ross will come out. Andy dinged up his left elbow, I think, going after that one. It's a 10-point lead for Rushford-Peterson. They inbound it into Rasmussen. There's a near steal. It is a steal. Dan Roush with it. We're going to get a foul on Rasmussen. That'll be his second. Just the 6th team foul. See if they give him some shots here. I think they will. Well, the Trojans will definitely be in the bonus on the next foul. Dan Roush will shoot 2 here. Dan with just 2 points on the afternoon. And the first shot rolls off no good. Carrier into the game for Rasmussen. Justin Carrier, number 5. 5'10" senior. Shot from Dan Roush is no good. They battle. Lettrud has his hands on it. It's tipped around. Long Henry. Now coming down with it is Carrier. Carrier to Anderson. And he'll bring it up for Rushford-Peterson. Dan Roush will be guarding him. Over to Carrier, right side. Carrier back out to Thorson. Well, we got him playing high now. He's been pretty effective down low. Drinkall with it. Swings it over to Anderson. Anderson gives it to Thorson. Near steal. Still puts it up. Oh, we're going to get a traveling call. Good defense by Dan Roush. He came hustling across court. He got a hand on there and made him move his feet. Turnover gives it back to Ortonville. 46-36 with 4:20 to play in the basketball game. For 3rd place at the Sports Pavilion at the University of Minnesota, Dan Ross. Nothing there. Anderson playing good D on him. Now it goes through the hands of Pete Ross into the hands of Drinkall. He gets it back to Anderson. Back to O'Donnell. Slams it home. Oh, boy, did he go right down the middle. That's 8 for O'Donnell, and it's a 12-point lead, 48-36. We go the other way. We're going to get a foul down low as Long Henry put up the shot. I think they're going to get Thorson, number 54, with the foul. And that is his third foul. That's 22 points for Adam Thorson. Long Henry will shoot 2 here for Ortonville. Free throw, no good. In and out. Butker and Andy Ross come in. Dan Ross and Dan Roush go out. Second shot for Long Henry is good. And that's 5 for Long Henry here today. 48-37, 11-point lead for Rushford-Peterson with 3:45 to go in the basketball game. This for third place. Thorson has it knocked out of his hands. Now Botker getting all over him. Anderson, top of the key. And gets it to O'Donnell, left side. O'Donnell looked at his shot, passed it up, back to Anderson. Swing it over to Drinkall, right side, back out to Anderson. Now O'Donnell, they go inside Drinkall, left-handed shot up and in. That's first 2 for Drinkall today, and he hasn't been sitting out of this game much. Botker with it now for Ortonville. He drives, lays it up, rolls off, no good. O'Donnell with the rebound. Anderson with it. Pete Ross trying to chase him. There's Thorson, lays it up and in. Right now, it's turned into Rushford-Peterson show, 52-37. And we're going to get a timeout. 52-37, 2:54 to play in the game. Let's take a 1-minute break. And you're listening to Trojan State Tournament basketball action this afternoon right here on AM 1350 KDIO. Mike Swenson as we get play underway. 2:52 to go in the basketball game. Rushford-Peterson leads it 52-37. Botker has it knocked out of his hands by Drinkall. Now we're going to get a foul on Drinkall. That'll be his third. And Jordan Botker will go to the free throw line and he will shoot the 1-and-1. Jordan with just 4 points here today. Oh, Jordan at the free throw line. It's Andy Ross, Pete Ross, Ryan Long Henry, Skip Luttrud, and Jordan Botker, the 5 out there for the Trojans. Free throw from Jordan is short. Comes down to the hands of Drinkall. He gives it off to Anderson. Anderson back to Drinkall, and now Anderson brings it back up for Rushford-Peterson. 2.5 to play in the basketball game. For third place at the State A basketball tournament. Of course, Southwest Christian and Winnie Mac are playing for the championship at 1 o'clock today. Now we're going to get a foul. I think it's going to be on Pete Ross, down low. I think it's going to be on Jordan Botker. Fourth foul for Jordan Botker. Carrier will go to the free throw line. He's looking for his first points here today. 2:26 to play in the basketball game. Free throw is good. Into the game comes number 52, Andy Bernard, and out goes Thorson. What a game he had. 24 points today. Second shot is also good for Carrier. And now it's 54-37, a 17-point lead for Rushford-Peterson. They've kind of pulled away here in the fourth quarter. Andy Ross dishes it off to brother Pete. Pete in the left corner, guarded by Carrier. Now Pete looks to drive, loses it. Drinkall will run it down for Rushford-Peterson. Now looking for some help, and the ball stolen by Pete Ross. Pete will drive, lay it up, and no good. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Ortonville basketball. Drinkall's hurt his leg. He'll walk it off. Coming in now will be number 20, Matt Chambers. Drinkall's going to come out. He's really favoring that right leg. He went down hard, getting back on defense. Coach Vic's over there going to help him to the bench. 2 minutes to play in the basketball game. Andy Ross to inbound it here for the Trojans. Now they're going to wipe up. Well, they won't need to. Now gets it into Skip Letchard. Back over to Pete Ross. Play resumes. Pete drives. Now we're going to get a foul before that. And we'll see what the foul is on here. And that's going to be on Chambers. That'll be his fifth. Chambers fouls out, not scoring any points on the day. Rasmussen and Hungerholt are checking in for the game now. The substitutions come in. Donald goes out. He had 10 points. Thorson also out. He has 24. Free throw line. It's Pete Ross. Free throw is good. That's 7 points for Pete today. All from the free throw line. Pete's second shot is also good. And we're going to get a foul in the backcourt on Pete Ross. That'll be his first foul. And that will put Rushford-Peterson back on the free throw line. 54-39 with 1:54 to play in the basketball game. Trojans for a spell were trying to cut it down. They did to 5 points, but Rushford-Peterson was able to pull away here in the fourth quarter. Carrier to the free throw line. Free throw short. His second shot coming up. And he misses that one. Letchard pulls down the rebound, gets it to Andy Ross. To Botker. Jordan way out there, puts it up, no good. They battle inside, and Andy Ross comes down with it to Long Henry. He'll pull up for a shot, no good. They battle inside, and they're going to get a foul on Pete Ross. Pete pushed from behind. That'll be his second. John Thomas will check into the game now for Ortonville, as will Zeringer, Rademacher, Ross, and I think you're going to see the 5 seniors out in the court here for a last hurrah. Andy Bernard will go to the free throw line. He has not scored here today. And left-handed shooter gets his first shot. And misses. And the seniors come in. Botker gives them all a nice little hug. Dan shakes the hands of all the juniors and kids coming out. It's a great run for these kids. And nice to see the 5 seniors who will end their high school career in basketball on the court together. John Thomas, Dan Ross, Noah Zeringer, second shot no good. Mickey Rademacher and Ryan Long Henry will play the last minute 35 here today. Mickey over to John Thomas. Thomas drives, dishes, nice pass. Long Henry inside, can't get it to go. He'll go to the free throw line. Long Henry has 5 points here today. Two shots coming up for Long Henry. Free throw, good. And now Rushford-Peterson will clear their bench as well. Into the game will come Chris Johnson, number 3, also number 32, Zach Muriel, and number 12 into the game is Drew Anderson, along with Hungerholt, number 22, and number 14, Josh Rasmussen. And Long Henry makes the second free throw, and it's 54-41. Minute 24 to play in the basketball game. Rasmussen now running the point here for the Trojans of Rushford-Peterson. Ball knocked out of the hands of number 12, Drew Anderson. Anderson goes down low. Ball knocked out of the hands and into the hands of Dan Ross to Mickey Rademacher. Mickey drives, lays it up, and gets it to go. Mickey gets in the scoring column, makes an 11-point lead with 59 seconds to play. Rasmussen crosses the center line. The Trojans will finish 4th in the State 8 basketball tournament this year with a great future ahead of them. 44 seconds. Rushford-Peterson. Rasmussen dribbles around now, 37, 36, 35. Gets it back out now to Chris Johnson. Swings it back over to Drew Anderson. They go low to Hungerholt. Back to Anderson. Has it knocked out of his hands. Gets it back. Dishes it to Hungerholt. And he traveled with it. Now checking into the game will be number 24, Josh Happel. Josh Hoppel, excuse me. And number 34, Andrew Grigg. Andy Simonich, Tanner Rademacher, and Matt Fingston will come into the game. Dan Ross will go out. Mickey Rademacher will go out, and Ryan Longhenry will go out. And they get a nice hand from the Ortonville cheering section. John Thomas will bring it up with 18 seconds to go. Tanner Rademacher has it for Ortonville. Tanner back out to Thomas. Over to Zeringer. Noah drives, lays it up, can't get it to go. It comes down to Grigg. Final 4 seconds coming up. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will stay with Ortonville basketball. 54-43. Trojans will inbound it. Just 2.9 seconds to go here, and what a great ride this has been. They lob it into Zeringer. Noah puts up a shot, can't get it to go, and time runs out. Rushford-Peterson wins it by a score of 54-43. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back. How many ads do I got to get in here, Julie? We got a lot, don't we?
Board of Directors from South St. Paul. And this time we ask the captains of Ortonville to come forward to receive their 4th place